You've been keeping a journal. Maybe not every day, but often enough to feel like one of the serious ones. Screenshots saved, entries and exits logged, a spreadsheet with the numbers in it. Months of that. And here's the uncomfortable question. What has any of it actually changed? Name one thing you do differently today because of something that file told you. Because there's a version of journaling that looks exactly like the real thing and does none of the work. It records what the market did, it records what you did, and then it sits there. A record isn't a feedback loop. A loop only exists when something you wrote on Friday changes something you do on Monday. Today, we build that loop. Journaling, feedback, and the weekly review. One system, not three separate habits. The drill is called the 3-Line Friday, and it's deliberately small. 3 lines a session, 15 minutes a week. One rule that carries forward. Welcome back to the Calm Lucro channel. This is workout number 11 of your Psychology Mindset workout series, and it's the one I promised you at the end of the last session. It's the second drill here that runs outside the trade, and it's the one that keeps every other drill in this series alive, because a technique you never review quietly stops being used. So let's place it against what you already own. The 3 to 7 gauge measures your state. The 60-second sweep clears the residue between two trades. The 20-minute grade grades the market before you touch it. The 3-session ladder walks you back after a loss. Every one of those produces information in the moment and then throws it away. This workout is the container. It catches what they produce and turns a week of sessions into one change. And that's the whole difference between screen time and training. Brett Steenbarger built Enhancing Trader Performance around that idea, that a trader should be developed the way a performer is, through structured practice and feedback, rather than through more hours in front of the screen. Hours don't teach you anything. Reviewed hours do. Anders Ericsson and Robert Poole put the same mechanism at the center of peak. Deliberate practice isn't repetition on its own, it's repetition with feedback, and an adjustment made because of that feedback. Take the feedback out, and you're not building a skill, you're rehearsing whatever you already do. 200 sessions without a loop isn't 200 sessions. It's one session 200 times. So, if this kind of content helps you, take a second to like the video, subscribe, and turn on notifications so the next lessons reach you the moment they go live. And feel free to share in the comments which topics you would like us to explore in future videos. And if you want to support the channel on a deeper level, consider becoming a member to unlock exclusive content and help keep these lessons coming. You'll also find links to our trusted partners in the description below. Using them costs you nothing, and it directly helps the channel keep producing free educational content like this. So here's the drill. The 3-Line Friday. 3 lines at the end of every session, 90 seconds, and 15 minutes on Friday that produce exactly one rule for Monday. The law of this workout is short. A journal becomes a loop only when something changes on Monday. Everything that follows exists to make that sentence true. Move 1. The 3 lines. The same 3 every session. Never more. Line 1 is the grade, the letter you gave the market that day, and whether your session was clean or broken. Line 2 is the number, where your gauge sat when you clicked, on the same 0 to 10 scale you already use. Line 3 is the behavior, written as a verb. Entered before the close, moved the stop, doubled after the loss, waited and took nothing. That third line is the one that pays. Move 2, cap it. 90 seconds at the close, same place, before you stand up. And I mean the cap literally, because if it can grow, it will. And a journal that takes 20 minutes is dead in 11 days. James Clear's argument in Atomic Habits is that you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So the system has to be small enough to survive a bad Tuesday. Now, why a week? Because one session is too small to tell you anything. A single red day is weather. And a month is too far away to fix. By the time the pattern is obvious, you've already repeated it 20 times. 5 sessions is the smallest window where a pattern can show up while it's still cheap to change. That's why the review has a day. Move 3. Friday, 15 minutes, and you read only this week. 5 days, 15 lines. Don't scroll back through the month. Don't open the equity curve. Read the lines and count. How many sessions were clean, how many were broken, and how many times the same verb turns up in line 3. You're counting, not remembering. Move 4. Apply the rule of 3. A behavior that shows up once is noise. The same one 3 times in 5 sessions is a pattern, and the pattern is what you work on, not the worst single day, which is what your memory will hand you first. Carol Dweck's work in Mindset is about exactly this kind of reading, treating a result as information about what to adjust, instead of a verdict about who you are. A count on a page is a lot harder to turn into a verdict. Move 5. Convert it into one rule for Monday. One if-then line written into your plan, in the format you already know from the trigger map. If this happens, then I do that. One rule, not a new checklist. And next Friday, before you count anything else, you check whether that rule held. That check is the loop closing. Without it, you don't have a feedback loop. You have a diary with better formatting. And notice what isn't in those 3 lines. There's no profit column. The money is already in your statement. And the moment it lands in the journal, it becomes the first thing your eye goes to. And you're grading yourself by the outcome again, which is how a lucky win gets promoted to a good habit. Grade the behavior. The account keeps its own score. Imagine it's Sunday evening. You open the platform, pull up the equity curve, see the dip, and sit with it for an hour. You finish the hour with a decision. Be more selective next week. And it feels like a review. It cost you an hour and it wasn't pleasant, but nothing in it can be checked. Next Sunday, you'll write that same sentence again, because a resolution with no line attached to it is just a mood wearing a to-do list. Now imagine 4 months of diligent journaling. 300 screenshots, every entry and exit, tidy folders by month. And someone asks you one simple question. Which single behavior cost you the most money in those 4 months? You scroll, and the answer isn't in there, because the file recorded the market, not you. That's the gap between a record and a loop. The record can be flawless and still not answer the only question that matters. Let me be honest about the limits of this. It won't tell you whether your strategy has an edge. 5 sessions is nowhere near a sample for that. And that question belongs to our courses on market structure, smart money concepts, and technical analysis. And it isn't a risk report either. Sizing and exposure live in the risk material. This loop tracks one thing only: your behavior, measured against your own criteria. So here's your exercise for this week. 5 sessions, 3 lines each, 90 seconds at the close. Then Friday, 15 minutes. Count the letters, count the verbs, find the one that appeared 3 times, and write a single if-then rule for Monday. And next Friday, first thing, check whether it held. 2 Fridays is all it takes to feel the difference between recording your trading and running it. Because the trader you're building isn't the one with the most detailed journal. He's the one whose Monday is different because of what he read on Friday. A journal becomes a loop only when something changes on Monday. And in the next workout, we close the series. We take every drill you've trained, the check-in, the interrupt, the gauge, the reset, the sweep, the grade, and the ladder, and we build them into one personal framework you can actually run. Stay focused, keep training, and I'll see you in the next workout. So, trader, if this video brought you more clarity, like it, subscribe, and turn on notifications so the next lessons reach you. And tell me in the comments what you want me to cover next. And if you want to go deeper, you can become a member of the Comlucro Trader community right here on YouTube. It unlocks exclusive content, early access, and extra tools for your development, while directly supporting the channel. You'll also find our trusted partners linked in the description. Using those links costs you nothing and helps us keep producing this kind of educational content. And remember, the mission of the Calm Lucro channel is simple. We help traders build clarity, confidence, and structure, so every decision is made with discipline and intention. Here you'll find complete courses built as a true trading masterclass. Liquidity, market structure, higher time frame analysis, and supply and demand. Always focused on reading price and executing with a professional mindset. We also cover trading psychology, risk management, and long-term consistency. Because trading isn't just about charts, it's about mindset, discipline, and execution over time. Our main courses include Smart Money Concepts, ICT, Technical Analysis, Trading Psychology, and Wyckoff. Alongside that, we share insights from respected traders whose work helps you understand how markets really behave. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.